So, good morning. The going gets tougher. I'm like, it's early in the morning now. Yesterday was a really bad day. Um, she was okay in the morning, and then around 6:30, I had to go to the other town to get the result of some of her blood tests. And just before I left, she managed to push me, really push me. Um, I went to give her fruit, and she was like, well, she started, talking bad, slandering different family members. Um, and then I said to her, enough, enough. Uh, I can't hear the same stories every day. Just let it go, okay? I mean, all stories. And every time she adds a little salt and pepper. But mean, really mean this time, was just not just complaining about them, but, uh, you know, um, derogatory comments. And then she turned around, she looked at me and she said, yeah, of course, we can't speak to you, she said. I can't, why am I talking to you anyway? You're nothing. You never managed to do anything in your life, you're a loser. And I was asking her, um, why are you doing this? Do you get a kick out of doing this, out of being mean like this? Do you enjoy it? I mean, I'm like, Mom, I'm really asking you a question here. I'm curious. Do you get a kick? Do you feel better after you've said mean stuff about other people? How is it? How does it work? And she says, no, I don't feel better. But we have a word in French which is like, I don't know it in English. We have it in Greek, but I don't know it in English. It's like when you uh, get steam out. This is how it describes. This word describes like getting steam out. Okay, and I'm like, yeah. So you're feeling better when you do that. I don't know. I said, because why do you call me like, why do you talk to me like that? I'm feeding you, I'm here next to you, and you're telling me that I'm a loser. How, how can you do such a thing? How can you be so cruel? I was trying to see if she does feel anything, or if she's enjoying being mean, hear it from her. Well, of course, it was the excuse like, yeah, I don't know how to put things into words, so I say, no, no, I said, no, no, there's no other word to put things. When you say to somebody that they're a loser, that they've managed nothing in their lives, I said, you don't mean something else. You mean that exactly. But she was trying to do that. Later, I was not really mad at her for what she did that moment, but I was mad at her for the whole family dynamic. And what I did before I left, because I knew when my mother is mean like that, she's going to say so much more. And it was the time that the woman who changes her diaper was going to come over. So I left my extra phone I have to record, not video, but the sound while I was away. So when I came back, so she calls me on the phone, and I've run straight. Every time she calls, I've run straight. And as soon as I open the door, so how can we get through to you? How can we get you to come over when we need something and it's important? It's like she's in a hospital bed or something. I don't know. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You just wrong. I'm here. It took me 1 second to get here. And yes, it's true, but you were here very fast. I'm surprised. But I called before. I said, no, you didn't call. It's not on my phones anyway. And when do we eat here? I'd like to know when we eat here. Suddenly she wants to eat. I mean, every fucking day out of the plate that I try and imitate her. That is a person of her age. She just eats a little bit like a sparrow, you know. But what I want to say is that she hardly ever is hungry. And now it's like, when are we gonna, just to make you feel bad that you don't take care of her enough, you know. It's like the same thing she was doing when my father was here. Every time she needs something, I'd run up and help her, you know. I want to move, I want to do this, I'm too hot, I'm too cold. I'd run to help her. And how, imagine, you know, how do you think she tried to demean me? She would demean me constantly. Well, she called my father. She would tell to my father, George, come and do this for me, please. Come and help me do this. George, do this. And I'm right next to her, you know. My father would have to come from, you know, like 2 feet further away, and I'm right next to her. It was like she was through me, looking through me, you know. And at one point I got tired. I told my husband, and my father, I said, do you realize what she's doing? You know, she never calls me to go and help her, and I'm the one running to help her. And then at one point when we're eating, George, please do that. And I'm like, George, go help her now. Let's see how you will manage to lift her, because my father doesn't even touch her. You know, all he does was like put a blanket. He could put the blankets on her, but he even made her coffee one morning and he left it on the little table. I mean, she had to, you know, to get the cup and drink from the straw. He would not even hold the cup next to her head so she could drink. Yeah, it's crazy, you know. I mean, he wouldn't do very much, to be frank. He didn't do very much. And he would always tell her, you know, wait, your daughter is coming, wait, your daughter is coming, wait, yeah, now your daughter, I'm calling your daughter, I'm calling your daughter. And she did this on purpose, you know. And so the day that I said, yeah, George, go help her, let's see how you do, something like that, let's see if you satisfy her, something like that anyway. And she turned around, she said, it's like they want to be mean, but they don't really always want to hurt you, okay? Or, I don't know, it felt like that at the moment, but then we were 3. Maybe she knows how to hurt me, but she doesn't think that everybody around sees it. So when I express it like that and say, yeah, George, go help her, you know, she thinks, oh my God, the others understood now. What do I do? And she tried to explain herself. I call your father so he can do something too. You know, like you're doing everything, and maybe your father needs to help out too. You know, that's bullshit. Anyway, it's always bullshit with them. So. She started complaining when we came back from the doctor's, and she said about the food and all that. I said, what do you do? Why do you do that? I've been feeding you like 4 or 5 times a day, you know, I mean, with the fruits in between. And I've been by your side and all that. And you dare tell me, you know, because in the phrase she also said, you take good care of me here, but I'm not really satisfied. I want to go home. And then I go to get her, make her the omelette, and I tell my husband, I said, she's unbelievable, you know. And my husband comes in to change her the tablet for the mosquitoes. I mean, he used that as an opportunity, and he was like, how are you, dear? Is everything okay? Are we treating you well? You know, being very sarcastic, you know, kind of, are we treating you well? Do you feel comfortable? Is my wife feeding you well enough? And she was like, yes. Okay, because listen to me, he said, my wife has put aside her family and her work, you know, since you're here. Appreciate it. Don't treat her bad, okay? And he left. And she was, she didn't know what to say. Anyway, well, she did. She always knows what to say. Oh, God. But then she was trying to excuse herself for having said all those things, you know, not at the end. First, she tried to excuse herself uh, for not having the ability to express herself, to speak like other people, you know, and I used the wrong words. I said, bull crap, you use the wrong words. You're just mean and demeaning. That's all you want. You want to hurt people. When you feel bad, you want to hurt people. Why would I want to do that? You know, they don't understand really. Why would I want to do that? I said, I don't know. It's a survival mechanism. I don't know why you want to do that, but you enjoy that because there's nothing else that you get a kick out in life. You know, you don't enjoy life. And then she started going on and on about my sister. I said, you see what you do? And I asked her, I said, tell me, I said, can't you let it? I said, let it go, you know, let it go. And she said, no, I can't forget it. I said, this is the thing, the bad, sad part. I said, you can't forget bad things that drive you mad, but I said, you seem to forget nice things. Do you have anything nice that has happened in your life that you remember that you can talk about? And she said, yes, I remember when I was young and I was it's a part of Belgium where they used to go on holidays by the river and all that. I used to go to Vres, and I'm like, and then something happened and we cut the conversation. My son came in. Yeah, my son came and called me. But I was very curious to know, you know, did you need to go that far to and falling in love with your husband maybe? No. She went back to when she was really little. So today I'm going to continue to question her. I decide that I'm going, so that I don't lose it more than that I lost it yesterday, because I have to keep her calm, because I have a psychiatrist who's going to come on Friday. So I'm going to try and keep it calm by trying to find out about her past, asking her questions about her life to see where the damage started and all that. I mean, it's the only way, you know, I can only keep myself from getting really upset and reacting when I look at it as a project, you know, as research. If I look at it as a normal human being, daughter, mother, and all that, that's done. I'm done, you know. She really gets to me. She really gets to me. She knows how to get to me. So we'll continue tomorrow. And it's going to be part 5.